Her advice will have a positive effect on your psych gauge. Survival on the battlefield depends on your psychological well-being. Lose your cool and your body stops doing what you tell it to. Even a veteran soldier like you.
I know. Mind, body, technique. Some things haven't changed with time.
When your psyche is running low, ask her for advice. It'll help keep you in peak condition and focused on the mission.
By the way, Colonel, isn't that your house?
Well, yes.
Then the woman you married, the one that Meryl was talking about.
Is Rosemary, yes. Didn't I tell you before?
News to me. What about Jack?
Jack?
Jack, from Foxhound. Codename Ryden. I seem to remember him being engaged to Rose.
Oh. We lost all trace of him.
Jack's gone. I used to work with the guy. He saved Sonny from the Patriots.
He disappeared soon after that.
What about you? Jack disappeared and you just moved in on Rose?
I was consoling her over her loss, and one thing just led to another.
She's young enough to be your daughter.
Yeah, lucky me, huh?
Now I see why Meryl was so disgusted.
Meryl said something about me.
Yeah, I believe her words were, "I'll never forgive that womanizing piece of shit."
I see.
Colonel, you knew she was our informant in the Middle East, didn't you? Was it you who put her up to it?
Yes. I used my connections in the army to get Meryl the job.
You wanted your daughter someplace where you could keep an eye on her.
Look, everybody involved in the incident at Shadow Moses either lost their job and status, or in the case of Meryl and Mei Ling, got brushed aside. Meryl wanted to make a comeback, a difference. We can't all be as strong as you, Snake. Some of us can't bear living like pariahs.
Since Shadow Moses, I've been branded a criminal.
I think of it as my own small way of making it up to my daughter. My own flesh and blood. In any case, call Rosemary if you ever need advice.
Say, is that a uniform from the previous regime?
Yeah, just my size, too.
The rebels are a heck of a lot less likely to shoot at you if you're wearing that uniform. Don't hesitate to put it on if you're feeling a little naked.
I'll do that.
Of course, you have to act the part, too. Don't forget to play nice.
Don't worry. I'll behave.
Snake, look at those rebel soldiers over there. It looks like they're trying to sneak up on the PMC base, just like you are. You can find your own route if you want to, but it might be easier to just follow them. Or you might try inciting a battle between the PMCs and the rebels and slip past them in the confusion. You should consider fighting alongside the rebels for a little while. It'll help soften up the PMC's defenses, which should work to your advantage when it's time to sneak in. In any event, choose whichever method you think is best given the situation, and stick to it. Do you hear the birds, Snake?
Yeah. I noticed a change in their song a while back. They're trying to warn other birds about some kind of disturbance. There must be people coming. If they get too close, the birds will stop calling and fly away.
Good observation. Birds are nature's greatest security alarms. You should pay attention to how they sing and behave.
The PMC the regime hired is French, isn't it?
It sure is. Pieuvre armement. Octopus armaments. Why?
On this battlefield ad I'm looking at, it's written in French. Les tentacules de la pieuvre pour votre guerre. It means something like arms of the octopus, arms for your war.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Fluent in 6 languages. You know, I bet the octopus never saw it coming. Somebody using its limbs to design a wartime advertisement?
You use what you can. That's what we humans do.
Sounds like something a Procure on-site expert would say.
Is that so, Otacon?
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. The facility where Naomi's being forced to do research is still a ways off. Use the destination mark on your radar to figure out where to go.
This is Rose. How can I help?
I need a psych check.
Good for you, Snake. You're taking great care of your psych. No worries on my end.
Glad to hear it.
Snake, the gauge below your life gauge is your psych gauge.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Then you'll hear it again. The psych gauge affects the rate at which your life gauge recovers. In other words, how fast your wounds heal. It also greatly influences how well you perform various actions. When your psych gauge is full, your life recovers quickly and you shouldn't have any problems doing what you need to do. Remember, your body isn't the only thing driving your performance. Your mind is every bit as important.
Hey, I don't let my mental state affect my combat efficiency.
You may think that, Snake, but the truth is, you're not as young as you used to be.
Could have fooled me.
It's your psyche that's keeping you alive inside. So you better take it seriously. Keep a close eye on your psych gauge.
All right.
Rose here. How's it going?
Super.
There doesn't seem to be any problem with your psych. So far, so good. Proceed with the mission.
Got it.
Eating replenishes more than just your stamina. It also helps your psych gauge recover. Since ancient times, military commanders have struggled with the problem of how to secure food for their men. How much soldiers get fed, not to mention how well, has a direct effect on morale. Back when wars were fought between absolute monarchies, the maximum distance an army could travel in a day was limited to the distance from one supply point to the next. The quality of the food is a major factor, too. During World War II, American battleships housed vending machines that were stocked with cigarettes, soft drinks, and ice cream. They called them Gedunk bars. The phrase is still used by sailors and Marines today.
Ice cream. Tasty.
Apparently, they even built special floating ice cream factories capable of producing 5,000 gallons of ice cream an hour to feed soldiers on ships too small to have their own Gedunk bars. They even had their choice, soft or hard. Napoleon once said, "An army moves on its belly." He knew what he was talking about. What's up, Snake?
Got an update for me?
I'm impressed, Snake. You're keeping your psych up better than I expected. Maybe you were right about not needing my help.
Speaking of food, Snake,
Colonel, we're in the middle of something here.
have you ever eaten rations from a country other than the U.S.?
Of course I have.
The UN recently held a ration swap meet between military attachés from each member state. It was a momentous development in the cultivation of mutual understanding of other countries' cuisine.
Roy, this isn't really the time.
On the contrary, I want you to hear this too, Rose.
I've already heard it 100...
You'll survive. Anyway, Snake, I did a taste test and found that French rations were generally the best. The Italians weren't bad either. And the Japanese stuff was much better than I expected.
Really? That's wonderful.
But everyone seemed to agree that the worst rations of all were ours. America for the win.
All right. So what's your point?
Yep, it must be nice to live in a country that knows how to cook. Those French rations, délicieux. I wish you could have been there to try some, Snake. And, you too, Rose.
Colonel, what exactly are you...
Some of the best food I'd ever tasted, Rose.
I'm sorry, Snake. Ever since he went to that swap meet, it's all he can talk about. You think he'd never had a decent meal in his life.
No kidding. Wait a minute. Rose, who does the cooking at your house?
Me. Roy doesn't... What are you getting at?
Nothing. Never mind. Colonel? My sympathies.
It's appreciated, Snake.
I actually like those American rations.